everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Relatable Stories. I'm Angeline Gahadza, your host, and I'm grateful that I managed to come today to talk to you about a journey that has been very difficult for me. For those joining us for the first time, Relatable Stories is a show that was created to help us share stories that help us to understand and cultivate self-love amongst ourselves. And while I was going through an experience of emotional abuse healing, I realized that there was a gap between the stories that we actually share and the stories that we actually go through. And that gap keeps people in isolation when they're going through hard times, when they're going through painful experiences. And that isolation sometimes causes depression, sometimes causes us to lose focus on who we are and actually start to self-sabotage. And so this show has been amazing, has helped me to grow. I've heard feedback from some of you guys in the audience talking to me about understanding the journey of self-love, understanding ourselves, and actually growing to become better or healthier versions of ourselves. So today, I chose this finale session to be about us discussing how difficult the self-love journey is. It's easy to say, I'm on the self-love journey, I love myself, I'm going to do right by me, I'm going to put myself first. But practically, that is quite difficult. And so because I have found myself in another experience that is life changing, I realized that sometimes also as we start to inspire each other, as we start to talk positively about our lives and on the self-love journey, we forget to acknowledge the fact that there are things that will happen unexpectedly. You know, when life takes over, shit can hit the fan very quickly, and before you know it, you will be rock bottom again, even though you didn't realize you would ever come back. So I just wanted to say hey to everybody. Say hi on the comment section so that I can engage with you. What are your thoughts? My first question to you really is: have you hit rock bottom? Have you hit rock bottom? How many times? And what were your coping mechanisms? Because today we're talking about when life throws you a sucker punch, you had not expected it, you find yourself rock bottom, you need to pick yourself up. And we know that self-love is the tool that you need to take yourself out of a dark situation, because as we have been discussing this whole time, you cannot expect external people to come and help you come out of your darkness, because people can only tell you so much. What you choose to show them is what they know, but the ultimate decision comes from within, because you're the one who knows yourself more. So I'd like to just hear from you guys. What do you think about hitting rock bottom, and what does it take for a person to come out of that? While I wait for you guys to join me and to engage in the comment section, yeah, I think I'm not 100% myself, but I acknowledge that it's God's plan. Everything is God's plan, and therefore, whatever has happened has to have a reason, and God's plan is always better. And that's the reason why I found my voice again, and I'm here. So, just after the last show that we had last time, in the first week of October, I heard news of the passing of our friend on a Monday. And I can say to you guys, the shock of an unexpected death is something that I never expected to hit me the way it did. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. But all I know is there is an experience that brought me here to this journey of self-love. And I thought that by having been able to walk through that journey of pain, depression, going through therapy, and finding my feet and finding my voice, I was going to just be able to use that template in any situation. What life taught me was that yes, that template works And yes, it will be the guide that helps you to go through the pain, but you cannot skip the process of the pain. Yeah, so dealing with the loss of a friend, I also had the privilege, uh, well, I say privilege sarcastically, of being in the front row seat, watching my best friend's heart broken into 1,000 shreds. And I have never imagined having to go through something like that. And for the past 2 3 weeks, my life had stopped literally. I was feeling like there was no purpose again in life. I know I found my purpose in teaching. I know I found my purpose in coaching. I know I found my purpose in speaking. In my logical consciousness, I know that is true. And I know that my life was not over. But practically, the pain was so much, and it was a lot of feelings all at once, that it made me feel like a victim. And so I got stuck in victim mode. But one thing that I know is I was fully aware of my situation. I could tell, I could feel that I was depressed. I know that I'm going through a dark time, but now that I get to think about it practically, I understand that self love means going through the pain. I understand that self love means acknowledging that you are in so much pain you cannot move. You cannot come and host relatable stories. You cannot go to work sometimes. You cannot function socially the way you used to. And that's okay. It's okay for you to drop some responsibilities because there's something that you need to take care of that was unexpected, something that you would have never planned, something that you would have never um, thought you would go through in a lifetime. And this is where I am and where I was for the past 2 3 weeks. So I want to know from you guys your coping mechanisms, because when you're coping or when you're going through pain, which is something that we always and should always do, sometimes we actually make bad decisions. We can become reckless. And self love says be aware of those feelings, be aware that you're in this place and you need some way to cope. However, some of these things that you feel will make you feel better are actually self-sabotage. So where is the balance there? This is the question that I was asking myself the whole time as I was trying to cope in ways that I started to question myself as self-sabotage. But at the same time, I was saying, as self-love, I know I need something right now, something that can help numb the pain, something that can help me go through a day and all of that. So it is something that I wanted to talk about today as we wrap up the show, as we talk about what we have learned in the past few months. For a year now, this is our 39th episode. We've been talking about all things self-love, how to love ourselves, why we should love ourselves, and and the reason why the power is within. I think a lot of times we take it for granted that our minds are very powerful. Our minds have the power to block everything that we have learned. So in all our wisdom, in all our knowledge, there could be an event, there could be a painful experience that will just knock you down and you forget everything. And I wanted us to remember that even if it seems like you have forgotten, or it seems like everything that you have learned is irrelevant, the moment that you acknowledge your pain, the moment that you allow yourself to take a day at a time, to confront feeling by feeling, a day at a time, you will get to a point where those lessons come back into remembrance. And when they come back into remembrance, you can be able to align with your current situation and refocus for the future. So what we have learned in the past few weeks, in the past few months, and in the past year, even on relatable stories, is that the very first step to self-loving is self-awareness. And when you have self-awareness, you've got the first key to change. There's no way you can change any situation if you don't know what it is that's going on. So what I know about the situation that I am now is that I am depressed. What I know now is that I don't understand things that I will never be able to understand. Death is just that, it's a mystery. I'm in pain because I have to witness pain all around me. I have to witness my friend going through the most difficult time of her life. I have to face my own feelings about this whole situation while being there as a good friend. I have to also deal with the issues that I have been allowing myself to sort of deal with a step at a time during a time when I thought nothing else could break. But because death happens unexpectedly, it breaks everything. I'm now forced to deal with other issues and other feelings that I was hoping to take my time on. So as I go through this season, I know, I realize, and I will reiterate this: self-awareness is the first step to self-loving. And then we talked about self-acceptance. Well, when you just accept that this is what it is. I'm upset right now with God's plan, even because I don't understand why I have to hurt so much in this particular season when I've just gone out of something similarly painful. However, I am not saying I want to stay in that position, but I'm acknowledging and accepting that that is what I'm currently feeling. And when I'm feeling it, whatever it takes to go through that pain, I'm ready to do it, having the awareness that I am the one in control. Whatever choice that I make is always going to come as a consequence to me directly and not anybody else. And then once you've accepted whatever situation you're going through or your journey as it has been dished by life, life can be, really shitty. But once you have accepted, then the next phase of life is just to take a step every day, speaking to yourself, confronting each feeling as it comes. What is it that I'm feeling now? Because bit by bit, you'll understand. Right now, I now have a word for what the situation that I was. Yes, it is depression, and that is the symptoms I could see. But what I now know and what is now clear throughout the journey of trying to understand what is depressing me really and how can I get myself out of there is that being a victim was empowering me. The victim mode is what I was searching for because I didn't want to do any more work. I was tired. I was feeling exhausted of understanding my feelings and trying to understand where it came from and then trying to figure out how I'm going to move, what the next step is. But then, all in all, I realized that I was trying to be in control when there is a God out there. Where my Lord has said, once you have understood yourself, you leave everything to me and I will help you sail through. This is where you will get peace that surpasses all understanding. This is where you get joy that you don't understand because you are going through a storm, but God is always present. So when you have accepted, you get to a point of now understanding each and every feeling of yours. You will come to a point where once you know what your problem is or what the biggest piece is in your journey or the biggest hurdle in your journey is, you'll be able to jump. And right now, I'm here knowing that I have to stop feeling like a victim. And yes, it's the first day of the month and I'm feeling more and more like myself. It is not 100%, but I'm sharing this journey with you guys because I want us to all accept and understand and see that we are not perfect beings. Life is not going to be perfect. We are not going to be able to predict every single thing that is going to happen in our lives. We might make plans, we might do everything right, go through this self-love journey, understand ourselves, start to know our worth, start to become confident, find our purpose, work in purpose, and God can still crush us because there's still more learning to do. There's still more wisdom to be gained, and there's still more to your life than you already know right now, because there's still more things that none of us can explain. So that being said, I'm just here to reiterate, and I'm just here to remind everybody that the self-love journey is the journey that takes you from one season to the next, from one chapter to the next, because it is all about your choices. Ultimately, no matter what life does, no matter what experience you're going through, it's just going to be you making a decision, you making a choice after choice. Even if it's a choice about a situation you never anticipated finding yourself in, you will still have to make a choice. And right now, I find myself having to make a choice to live again, having to make a choice to decide what is important to me, and having to make a choice to stop using coping mechanisms that are going to come back and bite me, but choosing what will build me. And I know already what makes me, what makes me tick. However, it is very easy for you to want the easy road or to want the easy way out, because pain is not something that we get used to. But when you go through the pain, when you go through the pain, there comes clarity. When you go through the pain, there comes a point where you are able to actually refocus and find your faith, find your feet, find your strength. And this is what God promises you. He says He's there very closely to those that are weak. He's there for those who are weary. He will strengthen you. But how He strengthens you is by you following and staying in His presence. And today, I can safely say that I know that I have not made it out of the dark space, but I know that I will get out of it because I am aware of what is happening around me. I have started taking measures, to have conversations with people that can help me understand my own feelings, going to therapy, journaling, getting me time, talking to myself, understanding each and every situation that I'm going through right now, remembering what was important to me before this ordeal, and understanding if that is still the same right now. Because what I need to do is not pretend that things didn't move, things didn't get shaken when this event happened. It's opened up a lot of other avenues in my life that I needed to confront before. But I cannot move from here as if nothing moved or nothing shifted, right? You can only move knowing what has shifted and knowing how to reposition. And so I am very excited to say, as we wrap up this season, we are not wrapping up lying to ourselves and saying this journey is easy, this journey I've got it on lock, the power is within, therefore I'm always fighting and I'm always a warrior, I'm always winning. Sometimes life does knock you down, but when you fall, you are not fallen for good, because you have equipped yourself with knowledge, you have equipped yourself with wisdom that will help you in any situation to rise. So, to all my warrior friends, to all my warrior people, I'm just going to leave you today with this advice: love yourself, find your purpose, walk in purpose. Because when you've got that power, even when life throws you a punch, life knocks you down, you can best believe that when you are with you, when you have conversations with you constantly and without fail, you will make it out of any dark spot that you find yourself in. I'm going to love you and leave you for this year. Relatable stories will come back. We'll be back in January next year, and we'll have a fresh new season with new guests sharing the things that we're going through, things that will inspire us to become better versions of ourselves, things that will inspire us to love what we have to bring to the table, because each and everyone's purpose is important and is equally good and equally amazing. Stay awesome, everybody. Have a good evening.